is Ricky Gervais here. Yeah, the Podfather himself. I say the Podfather like someone else said that. I gave my own name to myself. No one cares. I'm not the. I'm probably still known for The Office and Extras more than the podcast. It's one step away from being homeless doing a podcast. So give it up. No, I'm joking. The nerds out there really appreciate it. No, they don't. They slag you off on fucking forums. What have they ever done? Useless motherfuckers. Give it up. Who cares? I mean, well done, and well done for the charity work. Bye.
That message was recorded Thursday, January 31st at 4 p.m.
11:31 p.m. Thursday, January 31 p.m. 2008. Episode number 102. Oh yeah, dude. My name is Jonathan, and this is Seth. Hello, Seth.
Word.
I want you to going to give you the list of celebrity kids' names. I want you to tell me the best one. Nicolas Cage, Kal-El, Sylvester Stallone, Sage Moonblood.
You could stop right now.
Well, I haven't said Rob Morrow, his daughter,
Fuck that bullshit.
Morrow. Jason Lee of My Name is Earl, Pilot Inspector.
Fuck that bullshit. That fucking sci-fi bullshit.
Shannon Sossaman, Audio Science.
Bullshit.
Jonathan Davis of Korn, Pirate.
Awesome.
David Duchovny, Taya Leone. Kid, KYD.
That's kind of whack.
Genuine. His child's name is Story.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Robert Rodriguez has 4 sons, Rebel, Racer, Rogue, and Rocket.
Awesome. So we got Sly, Rodriguez, and who else? Pirate. Dog. Those are the only ones that matter.
Okay, so if I put Rebel, Racer, Rogue, Rocket, Pirate, and Sage Moonblood in a prison, who comes out?
Sage Moonblood.
Sage Moonblood.
Sage Moonblood is the best name ever.
Over the top.
Now, Sage Moonblood, what is that from? Like, how did he come up with that? I bet you it was a character that he had, like, in, like, a half-written screenplay
like
that
Rambo's
he has.
best friend?
Yeah, like...
Sage Moonblood.
It's the best
Which is
name.
our new movie.
Sage Moonblood is everything.
It's
my new band name. It's my new tattoo. It's the new name of this podcast. It's everything.
Yeah, Sage Moonblood.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Sage
Moonblood. That's it. Thank goodness. Goodness gracious.
So awesome.
It is awesome. This poor girl, I don't want to mention this because this show is an upbeat, positive show where we talk about life, socio-geopolitical issues. Unfortunately, a young girl, she was murdered, and I feel terrible about that.
How old?
She was only 10.
That sucks.
It's terrible. Regarding a motive, quote, Police Chief David Tompkins told at a news conference, quote, regarding a potential motive, this appears to have been, and the only reason we mention this is just because it's like, this guy says this quote as if like, apparently this is what he was going to do. Like, this is, quote, regarding a potential motive, this appears just to be another one of those, kidnap a person, rape them, torture them, kill them, cut off their head, drain the body of blood, rape the corpse, eat the corpse, dispose of the organs, bury the bones. It just happens to be another one of those.
Did he really say that?
That's his quote.
Is that a fucking quote?
It's just regarding a potential motive. This just appears to have been one of those plans to kidnap a person, rape them, torture them, kill them, cut off the head, drain the body of blood, rape the corpse, eat the corpse, dispose of the organs, bury the bones. You know what I mean?
You know.
You know, one of those. You know? Really, David?
The old rigmarole.
You know, yeah.
It's like the old routine.
The old Rochambeau. Like, okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Thanks for the parents on that one. Like, oh, it was one of those.
All right, now we can sleep.
I thought it was just a parking ticket.
Yeah, well, now we can sleep.
It wasn't a parking ticket? It was one of those 9 things that you said. Thanks, police chief, for your sensitivity.
Man, that is so bad.
Give you a baby teeny and put some Coldplay on so you can stop saying crazy shit at the news conference. We got the motive. It's just one of these. It's going to take me 4 minutes to get through it, but this is what it is. You're going to know it when I say it.
That's really funny.
Fucking asshole.
Shit, man.
Shit is right. So But the Dateline ended basically. It's so good because they had the rogues gallery of all of our boys that have been caught in the prison stripes, shackled together, all in a jail cell, no longer cyber chatting, but real life chatting
Like
about
all
their
like
plans,
singing a
what they
Michael
do.
Hutchins song
It's
together, like
basically,
like recording
It's like
mics.
the worst-
It's like we are
worst
the
idea.
world.
You put them all together in a room to trade their secrets. Now
Yeah.
they're like, it's like a masterminding the best criminals. They have a clinical psychologist. This is his quote. They say that they're stupid. They say that they're idiots. This is what these are the guys saying this about themselves.
Yeah.
But the psychologist is like, but they're not, because an idiot wouldn't be able to carry out such sophisticated planning. Sophisticated planning? Hey, I'm 53. Hey, I'm 12. You want to blow me? Sure. What's your address? I live on Main Street. I'll be there. That's wicked sophisto. Hey, you ever been fucked? No, I've never been fucked. Hey, I'll fuck you. Hey, how old are you? 11. Great, I'm 70. I'll fuck you good. Where do you live? You want condoms and ice cream? And bottles and jams? I'll fuck you. Oh, wait, you're a cop? I ain't gonna fuck you. I'm gonna go, oh, shit. Sophisticated planning. Sophisticated planning? No, these guys are not idiots.
No,
because an idiot wouldn't be able to pull off this mastermind plan. Mastermind plan? Hey, you got body hair? I like that body hair. I'm gonna touch your pussy. I'm gonna gently rub you down and do body work on you because I'm talking crazy. I'm gonna rub you up and rub you down and kiss you all over. Where you live? That's super sophisto. On the Ethernet, so it's extra sophisto because they use buttons to do it. Just buy a van like a normal dude.
Like we do.
I mean, like people we know do. People we've heard of.
That's what I meant.
You meant. I went to get my salad at my place last night. There's a place I go. They have delicious salads. I go eat them. They're organic and they're raw, and I love them. I'm walking in, and I see a pretty sexy lady, young woman, like standing outside of the restaurant. I have her in profile. She has a black dress on. It looks like an attractive young woman. It's all happening very fast as I'm walking, but she's looking at me in some kind of a manner, which I'm trying to interpret, but I'm looking at it favorably. Let's just say that. As I'm getting closer to her, I'm like, this is a really attractive young woman. But then as I get to the door of the restaurant, she's putting her hand in a cup of water, and she's quickly splashing water on her face, and then turns at me with what I thought were sexy eyes, but turned out to be absolutely crazed eyes, and says, "Hello, Satan. Hello, it's Satan," and gets up in my face. So I sneak into Leaf on Ventura. I'm the only one that goes to this restaurant ever.
Yeah.
Quick side note, I don't speak when I'm in there. I've only written everything down on a notebook paper. We'll get into that at a different time.
We'll talk about that at great length at some point.
I've eaten there 3 times a week for 6 months, and I've never spoken a word inside the building. Have seen the people that work there out at festivals, and they wave to me. One time I was in there about a month ago, and a new kid was working in there. I handed them my order, and he had not ever seen me, and he says out loud to the rest of them, "Yeah, he writes it down. He can't speak." And then some other girl's like, "He can hear." And I had to, like, look back at him, like, The kid was like, because why don't you talk? Because I'm not talking.
Because he doesn't talk in this
Anyway,
restaurant.
I get into this place that I've never spoken in, and the 2 girls that work in there are very sweet, and they're very nervous. So I know that the girl has been, like...
There all day.
Yeah, there since 11. They're checking the bathroom, and these girls are they're nervous. I'm like, maybe, I mean, she went plum loco. I mean, when she looked at me and she called me Satan, I almost was like, am I Satan? Like,
Right.
I thought she saw something, like maybe she looked into my soul, because it gets crazier. I hand them my order. I sit down. She's making sounds but not really doing anything. But keeping in mind that this, I didn't really.
She's still hot.
She's still hot and has no bra and has a black dress in her, and she looks very sexy. She walks in. Now she's barefoot. I'm gauging it now because now I'm sitting there. I'm like looking at her. She walks in and sits down. The only person in there sits down next to me. She's got a rally cap on. Now she's turned her baseball hat inside out and she's wearing a rally cap. And now she's even sexier. So it's a hot, crazed 23, 24, 25-year-old woman, but now she's wearing a rally cap.
What's a rally cap?
You know when little leaguers, when they want their team like to score, they turn the
their
cap
hats
inside out.
Yeah.
When have you ever? And this is like a woman. I'm like, you are my wife. I'm going to get through this psychotic episode you're on. Maybe you just took some bad meds. Maybe you're off your pills. I love you. Sits down next to, hello, Morpheus. Are you ascending into the resurrection? And yeah, getting like that, but like getting like Cuban radio frequencies, like getting like loquified. But I'm like, you're so attractive. I'm trying to gauge what is wrong? Like, are you just, I feel really, I hope this is just in passing. I hope it's going to go away, because if it's not, you're so beautiful and you're crazy fucked up. She kind of comes down, looks back into my soul, and starts bawling. Looking at me, and I'm like, getting like, because I'm staring at her, and I think
what is the proximity at this point?
The proximity is really close.
Like 3 feet?
You like, can touch each other.
Okay.
And we're so close.
And are touching each other.
And not, but our souls are touching each other, and she is bawling looking at me, because she can look in my soul and sense the sadness, and I'm looking in her soul and sense the madness, and here we are. Like, come on, honey. Like,
get in the car.
She's in my room now. So a couple minutes after, she kind of calms down, and she's like looking at me like she wants to, like, now we're going to fall in love. But she's not saying anything. I have my food in front of me. I'm going to start writing stuff down and like maybe be like, do you need anything? And she has a glass of water. She's pouring water.
So mind you, you're still trying to adhere to your fucking crazy
I can't talk.
thing.
So, but it's even crazier for her, because she's now asking me questions and stuff like, what do you do? What is going on in the talking, getting all like biblical, and I'm just like stone cold, just put my contacts in, like wide-eyed sober, staring at her. So I'm crazier than her anyway on my sanest day. So I'm scaring her now. Couple minutes later, all the paramedics come in, like because they've called 911 and stuff, like fire department.
You didn't know that though.
No. This is like very soon after, only like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But there's 2 minutes of her like crying and us looking into each other's souls and falling in love. Paramedic walks in with like surgical gloves and full like gear, looks at the two of us, looks back at the girls working there. They've come around the counter, and he's like, "Which one am I here for?"
Oh boy.
And I looked at this dude like, which one are you here for? There's a naked woman with a rally cap, all dirty, talking about the resurrection, like, Judas did this in the resurrection of Morpheus. I'm having a fucking salad, dude. I've got Time magazine, and I'm reading an article about gangs in New Orleans. Which one am I here for? So I raise my hand. He comes over and starts to take my blood pressure.
Fuck you.
And I'm looking at the dude like, are you serious? But not talking yet.
Right.
So he thinks I'm crazy. And the girl has to be like, duh. Like, her, you dumb asshole. This is just a weird guy that eats here 3 days a week and doesn't talk. We'll deal with him later. We'll do his blood pressure later. And then the guy gives me like, you motherfucker. Gives me like a dirty look, like I've dissed him. And now, so they move me over a table. They start to, like, address her. She's now standing on a table. Long story short, she's had a microphone, that's on a table. She had a black microphone with her. And then when they started to, like, take her away, she started going crazy and then looking at me almost like I thought it was going to turn into, he needs to come with me, I'm going to lose my mind, which I would have gone because I thought we were falling in love, until she whipped the microphone at me and, like, went by my face, went off the table and onto the ground. And that's when they brought in a stretcher and, like, tied her up, and she went,
she also...
You said you weren't going to hurt me! And then was talking in a British accent. What's my name? I live in Universal City. Heaven, Jesus. And then went, like, bananas.
Well, she blames you for all of it.
And then blamed me for all of it.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll meet again.
Oh, you will.
We'll meet
in
again.
Heaven.
In heaven.
That's the best story I've ever
that's
heard.
just, I had to, like, it was really crazy.
So awesome.
And the girls that were working there they were still so shook, because they were like, have you ever seen her before? Is she, like, local? Like, asking the girls, like, because they know, like, we're going to bring her to a psych place because she's off. But she couldn't. So
it's either off psych meds, 1, or 2, like, crazy bad drugs.
Yeah, I'm hoping, because you were talking about when we were sitting this close, I was like, you're really attractive. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're But this was like, it got into scary bananas because she was like, when she got up on the table and you said you were gonna hurt me, and was screaming the guy's last name that she was reading on it, and like, I was like, man, oh man,
That is awesome.
just want a salad, a delicious salad.
As we know,
Jonathan's mentor, confidant, Raymond Nagin.
He has referred to me as his protege more than once.
Yes.
His white mini-me, I think, is what he's called me a couple of times.
He was reelected, so we wanted to revisit. Now, this man got reelected.
They were saying it's one of the finest examples in American history of the power of incumbent, I guess, right?
I like that.
Is that right? Does that make sense? The power of an incumbent. The fact that the dude, there's no way the guy should be doing anything right now except, like,
except making,
like, no money and, like, pushing a broom around or making chocolate.
Or making chocolate.
Let me tell you about something. How do you make chocolate?
I don't know.
You take dark chocolate, you mix it with white milk, and it becomes a delicious drink. That's the chocolate I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
Well, he said New Orleans was a chocolate city before Katrina, and it's going to be a chocolate city after. And
wait a minute, you make chocolate?
No.
Say it again.
I know it's confusing, Seth. Let me explain. If you were to ask me, hey, Jonathan, how do you make chocolate?
Jonathan,
I would give you an old recipe that I learned
What is your recipe?
from my friend
Hey,
Mayor.
Jonathan, how do you make chocolate?
Well, first of all, you take chocolate.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
I know. It sounds weird. You take the thing that the thing that you're making, and you make it.
Hey, Mom, how do you make lasagna? Well, Seth, you take lasagna. Well, wait a minute.
No, wait. Aren't we? No.
No.
You take some lasagna, you mix it up with some milk,
and it makes
and then
a
you drink
delicious drink. Well, Mom,
but that doesn't make
that's crazy
sense.
lasagna.
That's the craziest lasagna I've ever heard about.
Hey, how do you make chocolate? First,
you take chocolate, and then you mix it up with milk, and it makes a delicious drink. I don't see what your fucking problem is, Seth. I don't see what your problem is.
That's the mayor.
No wonder he got fucking reelected.
That's the mayor.
He's a genius.
I don't get it.
He's a fucking genius. I was a kid once.
We were all kids.
We've all been kids from time to time.
We're all kids at heart.
Sometimes kids turn into something else, which is called a teenager, from what I've heard, or an adolescent.
A tween?
Now, one of the things that happens with adolescents is adolescents go through a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, a lot of changes, a lot of growth. Sometimes they feel
physically
compelled,
and emotionally.
Yes, and sometimes they feel compelled to document said growth and change.
I think that's healthy. It's probably recommended.
Well, it certainly helped me, and I'd like to share with you some pieces in a segment that we call Jonathan's Teenage Poetry, or something like that. This isn't quite so much a poem as it is a passage or a passage.
A passage.
Let me read it to you.
I'd like to hear it.
You may have seen it. It got published, in a small anthology. Yeah, maybe it was in City Lights Books in San Francisco for a while.
Circa what year are we looking at?
Let's say I am currently quickly approaching 29 years of age.
It's going to be a good year for you.
And I would say approximately 15 years old when this.
But what year? What year?
I can't do that. I can just tell you how old I was and how old I am now.
I want to get me back to what I was wearing the day that you wrote this.
Well, if I'm 29 now, let's just say, and I was 15 then.
Okay.
How many years is that?
Well, I would think
14 years.
You tell me.
Is that 14 years?
Maybe.
I have no idea what that means. 14 years ago.
Which would
be 99. 1997. No, it would be. Well, oh God, 10 years ago would be 96.
Is that really how you have to do that?
Can't do
Honest
this.
to God, did you just say that?
I have show jitters here. I can't do math when you're asking me to do this. What does that mean? I mean 1992.
Wow.
Is that right? 1982. What year is it?
Why don't you read your passage?
No, why don't you tell me what year it is? Because now I need to know.
Let's leave the quadratic equations to the people at fucking.
How old was that? How long ago did I do this? I'm 29 now. I was 15 then.
I was 14 years ago.
Thank you. So what year does that make it?
Well, if it's 2006, take away 10 is 96. Take away one more is 95.
One more
One
after
more is
that.
94. One more is 93. One more is 92. 1990. I did it, Mom! I'm 30. I can subtract 14 from 1,000. 2 plus 6 is passage.
Let me just read it.
Read
Maybe
it.
you'll change your opinion of me after you've heard this.
So true.
All right? There's artists and then there's math guys. All right? I was
There's
more
left
of an
brain,
art-
there's right brain. I don't
Yeah.
know which brain controls this other than the flavor brain.
She was the first of her tribe.
Do you want me to read it?
No. Sorry, I just get a little...
I know you do.
It builds up.
That's what I'm saying. If you
She was the first of her tribe. She competed with the warriors of the tribe like she was a warrior herself. She didn't understand women being thought of as the ones who care for the home. Her hunting and tracking skills were superb.
Fucking asshole. Fucking asshole.
Sorry, I don't want to lose it here. She... I can't do it.
Give me that fucking thing.
Because I have to read it,
I'm
you
gonna
won't do it.
burn that when you're done.
She didn't understand women being thought of as the ones who care for the home.
Of course.
Her hunting and tracking skills were...
Her what? Her hunting and her tracking skills? There's hunters and there's gatherers. I read that.
were superb. She never was quite accepted, though, until a war broke out between Spanish settlers and her tribe.
You're a douchebag. Give me that fucking thing.
Please,
Are you serious?
please read it.
She didn't understand women being thought of as the ones who care for the home. Her hunting and tracking skills were superb. She never was quite accepted, though, until a war broke out between Spanish settlers and her tribe. She gave her life for her people. She fought hard and fierce, but a bullet was put through her. And no matter how strong and courageous, she was asked to join the gods. She still dances through the fields where she was killed and plays her flute so that all can hear. The white man calls her flute playing wind. Oh my God, man. I gotta talk to your parents.
Please.
I'm gonna fucking talk to your parents.
That is top notch, man.
The white man calls her flute playing wind.
Which, I mean, at least I was right about one part
You were
of it.
right about 6 parts, and 6 parts makes a whole.
That's Jonathan's poetry.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
You gotta-
I didn't think I was... Oh, my God.
I gotta collect my thoughts after that.
Now, speaking of man sex, I had a childhood memory
Experience.
come back
Stop.
to me.
Stop right
No,
there.
it's not.
Okay.
It's not quite as bad.
Like, it's not the one I
It's not
told you
quite
before.
as bad as it sounds, but it's somehow more humiliating. I was I hadn't thought. It literally came over me in like a wave, like a
Like
childhood memory
when you were
wave.
at church,
And I wasn't-
everything came
No,
flooding
it wasn't
back?
like that. But I was watching television the other day, and there was a documentary on bodybuilding, like competitive bodybuilding on. It gets so rich. It gets so rich.
So gross.
So awesome. So I'm watching it, and like I said, this memory comes to me where I wanted to be a bodybuilder when I was a kid. I wanted to be a bodybuilder.
Professional
I was, like,
bodybuilder.
Totally, I was like obsessed with fucking like Schwarzenegger and like that whole scene, and like
Yeah.
you know, like just thought like Lou Ferrigno, like I thought they were like the dopest dudes ever. I wanted to be a bodybuilder.
Of course, they are.
And I'm 9 years old, and I'm sitting and I'm flipping through the television. It's like broad daylight. I would say like 2 p.m. And I'm flipping through television, and a bodybuilding competition's on television.
Perfect.
And I turn it on, and I'm watching it, and it's a bunch of dudes and fucking doing their thing. And then halfway through it, it cuts to a female bodybuilding competition.
Sexy.
So I get aroused, and I was the other thing is I didn't jack off when I was that age. I was a humper. And humping consists of getting on your knees and putting some sort of, padding between your legs and like
rubbing vigorously until, in essence, a sensation.
9 years old and that a little young?
I mean, I was doing it younger than that, but I guess it is young.
Really?
According to other people, I guess that's young.
That's pretty young, man.
But it was just like humping, like
Still.
I'm just doing some humping, and so the girls are on, and I start fucking. I get like a boner.
Now, by girls you mean
Female
guys.
bodybuilders, in like heavyweight class. Like these broads were broad, and like I'm humping. Oh, I'm humping. And watching female bodybuilders and like humping my ass off, and both my parents like just like tuk, 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 like walk in the room and they see me like buns up, like humping a pillow, like in front of the television, watching female bodybuilders, and I look at them. And they look at me, and I'm embarrassed.
Why?
Obviously,
Why would you be embarrassed? That's totally normal.
What do I say to them? I look down at my situation. I'm like, I don't know. I was waiting for the guys. I was waiting for the guys to come back. And my old man was like, well, that's even worse. I just remember saying, well, that's even worse. Because then I realized, like, oh, fuck. Like, they think that means I'm, like, humping to, like, crazy bodybuilders, which maybe I was. I'm not going to say I was or I wasn't. I'm saying I wasn't jacking off. I was humping. Just doing some humping, watching some bodybuilding.
I am like...
How awesome is that story? How awesome is that memory? They, like, come over you, literally and figuratively, like, last night as I'm, like, flipping through channels, going, like, oh, my God, I completely forgot about that.
The Pumping Iron DVD that you bought when it came out 2 months ago?
slow-mo.
Why'd you buy it? It's so weird. Why would you buy that?
Multiple angle.
Have you never seen that? No, I've seen it. Why'd you buy it? I like it.
I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. I was just waiting for the guys. I was waiting for the guys to come back.
Yeah, the big guys. I'm a bodybuilder. Masturbating at the age of 9. It's kind of young. That's okay. Whoa. Could you sing that song you were just singing?
Give me the Beach Boys to free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll. Just slip away. It's either slip away or drift away. I'm not sure. And I cannot for the life of me remember who fucking sang that song. Give me the Beach Boys to free my soul. I want to get lost in your rock and roll. Just drift away.
When music was music.
Yeah.
When radio was radio.
Fuck, man. Who is that? And by the way, all you fucking assholes who are calling the voicemail correcting me, saying that it's Gimme the Beat Boys, it's Gimme the Beach Boys. All right? Fucking Google it. It's by Desmond Tutu, and the song is Gimme the Beach Boys. Fucking assholes. I think I should know, all right?
You should know.
I host a fucking show.
Host a show. He was in the Fat Boys movie Disorderlies.
Yeah, thank you.
He's an extra in that. Look it up.
Fucking dicks.
I got a guy, he's called the Whale Man.
Mm-hmm.
He goes around to middle schools and assemblies, and he teaches the kids about whales. He loves whales. I went to his website. He's got a T-shirt with a whale on it. He's got huge glasses and a beret and a big smile. He charges $500 for his classes, but he's known all over New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Pennsylvania. He's super popular. He's the Whale Man.
Is he also known by the FBI?
Well, he's known by local New Jersey State Troopers because they were called to his house because the neighbor was like, this dude's got mad weed growing in his house. They get there. He's got 192 pot plants.
Awesome.
What's wrong with that? He's the Whale Man. He's loved and respected. They come, they say, we're going to have to bring you down for some questioning. He's like, well, let me go get my lawyer, my contact information for my attorney. It's on my computer. And the New Jersey State Trooper that was standing in his living room.
What are you deleting?
When he he just looked over at him, and there's like a little boy, like prick in hand, like is the screensaver. Booyah! Like with a whale, like a picture of a whale, like on the kid. Like a whale head, but like a kid's prick and body. And the trooper was like, excuse me, sir? And he's like, whoa, like, no, don't. Like, try to pour, like, Tang on the keyboard, and, like, no. Like, 400 images. They bring him down.
Which is fucking small time.
Yeah, small time. If you got anything less than 7,500, you're come on. So I go on the dude's website, and the quote under him is, my entire life has been dedicated to children. And then they have a quotes page of teachers, like all the schools that he's been to. Let me just give you a couple. Whale man, you truly know children and know how they enjoy you. Whale man, your interest in the students is admirable. It's also refreshing and reassuring. Whale man, you certainly have a unique talent with kids. And last but not least is Whale man, I was impressed with your ability for making the children proud of their curiosity. Whale man, shh, it's the secret. Ask, believe, receive. 6 months in prison.
And have to register as a sex offender everywhere you move for the rest of your life.
We talked about cyberbullying. What's really going on right now is cyber heckling. High school and college sporting events. When teams have big games, the fans of one team will go in and find the MySpace or Facebook pages of star players on the other team. One example, big game. MySpace page, star kid on the basketball team. He has a picture on his MySpace page, very cute, of him and his brother in a bathtub when they're little kids. That picture was taken off the computer, blown up into an enormous size, and then brought into the game when he was shooting a free throw. It said, "Brothers." Finding out the names of loved ones or girlfriends and then chanting that name during the game. It's cyber heckling.
And it's awesome.
And it's awesome.
That is fucking pretty cool.
Fake MySpace page accounts being created where girls come on to players, have them send messages, and then playing the messages. Where were you? Pictures of guys at rendezvous where they're supposed to meet, but there's no person. A picture of them looking around dumb, held up at the game. Got you. Cyber heckling. It's a brave new world.
It is. You better get on that train and ride it.
Today I'm sitting in my apartment.
Oh, man.
A.k.a. the studio, doing some pre-production work for tonight's show.
Pre-pro.
Cell phone rings. Flip it open. Recognize the number as Jonathan calling me. Oh, he probably wants to talk about some things we discussed earlier about the show. I pick the phone up. Hello. But I don't hear anything on the other end. I mean, I hear things going on, but I don't hear an immediate, "Hey, how you doing?" But Jonathan's also one of those people, he's one of those tail enders who will call you, but will finish up another conversation where he's at before he ventures into this telephone conversation with you. You know, those people where you pick up the phone, "Hello," and they'll be like, yeah, so that's when Jimmy's going to pick it up and we'll roll it back. "Hey, what's up, man?" Like a tail ender. They finish up and then they come in instead of giving full attention to the... So I waited, and then after about 10 seconds, I was like, God, this is really rude. He's having a full conversation before... But then I realized, somehow his crazy, highfalutin, newfandangled phone has dialed my number, and he has no idea. So at first I held my breath to not... And, turn the ringer off on my home phone to not give away any sign that, I didn't want my home phone to ring and him to be like, "Oh." And I also didn't want my heavy breathing, because sometimes I get so excited doing production work, I can breathe heavy. So I held my breath, put the paper down, and sat on the couch, but then realized, he's having his life is being lived, and I'm fully listening to it. Like the time he called me from his therapist's office and didn't know he was in full therapy session, and I listened.
I hear, the therapy session. This one I was completely done with my activities by the time I picked up the phone to make another phone call and realized that it had been connected to Seth. The one in therapy, I actually heard a tiny little voice coming from my crotch area, and then panicked.
Full therapy session.
I mean, therapy session.
Literally, Jungian,
Yeah. And then he touched me. And
it hurt. He said it wouldn't hurt.
He said, "Don't worry, it'll taste like ice cream." And I said, "It doesn't taste like ice cream.
But Daddy's your friend.
I don't want to do this anymore."
That was that. This is... Now, but at this point, he claims it was only 5 minutes. It felt like it was 20 because I was reading the California section of the LA Times, reading full articles while he's like talking about redoing his studio, talking about his identity theft, and the girl's like, "Oh, that's terrible." Like, no, you don't understand, man. Like Home Depot, like doing parts of Yeah Dude, but in his real life, two strangers, fully listening to it.
I mean, I was talking about colorways of certain like rugs that I was looking at and stuff like that. I actually said it. I don't think he heard me. I do remember saying, "Well, that one's cute."
No, I heard it. She was like, "Really?" Girls loving him. Let me just say that.
Fuck. I have a couple of things I could read to you right now.
You have a couple things you could read to me?
Yeah.
What are
Because
they
I just
about?
got so jealous of all that airtime you just got, that uninterrupted airtime you just got. I need to like
take some back. Claim some for your own.
You have two choices.
Okay. What are the topics? What are the?
Okay, they're both from the same year. I was in 10th grade.
Okay, the 90s, crazy time. Google them.
You can have either
All right.
my 2-week field trip to Mexico, which I've spoken about on the show before, but this was my school paper that I wrote for it. So a slightly different twist because I couldn't talk about the fact that I was smoking cocaine and watching crazy Mexican porno on a projector, like in a screen in my room.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
So I could do that.
All right. That
Or
sounds
I
good.
could do my book report on A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, fuck. Done. Sorry. We'll get next week. Everybody, tune in to episode 70 of Yeah Dude, and let's all go to fucking Mexico. But tonight, let's take a Kubrickian journey through the mind's eye.
Oh man, Jonathan Larroquette, English 10. Name of the report: You Can't Blame the Youth.
You can't blame the youth.
Which is a little bit of a Jonathan's Rasta-tie-in because it's a lyric from a Bob Marley song.
Okay.
You can't blame the youth of today.
So even when
you can't
you were
fool the youth.
in
No,
all
you can't
aspects of your
blame the
life,
youth.
even when you were writing, you would still manage to somehow reference.
You can't blame the youth, and I got good title.
What color pen did
This
you
is
write?
all black.
Is it a male teacher or a female teacher?
It was a female teacher.
Was she attracted to you?
I was attracted to her. I do not believe she was attracted to me.
Okay, lesbian.
In the book, A Clockwork Orange, the main character's name is Alex. To me, he seems like he was created by the author to represent a reject of society. The book takes place at a time in the future when the world's youth has gone mad. It is much like the gang problem we are running into today.
It's true.
Children have been growing up in a demented world, and as they grow, they know nothing else but what they have been raised around since day one. Which seems to me the explanation for all the violence that goes on in the story. A perfect example of this is in the book when Alex stays home from school one day, and he's sitting in the kitchen reading the daily Gazetta. And I quote, "The Gazetta was the usual about ultra-violence and bank robberies and strikes and footballers making everybody paralytic with fright by threatening not to play next Saturday if they did not get their higher wages. Naughty Malchikiewicz, as they were. Also, there were more space trips and bigger stereo TV screens and offers of free packets of soap flakes. Notice I'm just fucking filling space on this report. This is all a giant quote from the book.
Yeah, a big one.
Amazing offer for 1 week only, which made me smack. And there was a bolshy big article on modern youth, meaning me, so I gave the old bow, grinning like Bazoomi, by some very clever bald Chilovek. This quote shows the confusion of humans' everyday lives.
There we go.
We live in a world of very shallow morals, very superficial people, just out for themselves, and if they have to hurt someone or destroy something in order to get what they want, they do not hesitate to do it. Anthony Burgess wrote this book, and in my opinion, he did an incredible job of foreseeing where this world was headed. He wrote it in the 60s, and the words and slang that he created for the characters in the book were very similar to the slang used today by youth. Parents of today look at their kids, what their kids are doing today with their baggy jeans and their gangs and crews, and they are boggled by it. They cannot figure out what would drive their little baby, their son, to kill another child. Well, it seems pretty obvious to me. If a person grows up seeing violence on the TV, violence in the music, and violence on the home front, and violence in all the cool movies, that
Fuck, man.
mind you, I'm in 10th grade, dude. Like, I'm not like in 4th grade. I'm in 10th grade. Hold on. All the cool movies. That person will not have very much connection with death or brutality in any way. Death no longer seems like a sacred thing. It's superficial. It is in your living room. It is something that is used by some people as a way to solve a problem, by inflicting it on either themselves or someone else. This is where the problem originates. A child does not kill through instinct. He or she has to be taught it somehow.
Environment.
So when all the parents get together to find out what has gotten into their kids, I hope they are bright enough and are able to let their ego down enough to accept some responsibility for the situation. Alex's parents were not able to see their role in Alex's psychosis. They seemed to me to be very unfit parents. They had no idea of what he did with his free time. They were extremely disconnected with his entire life. His mother and father did not have any structure themselves, so they couldn't help Alex out any.
Nope.
It seems that they loved him, though, but after a while, love can only go so far. It is showing the love through time and education that benefits a child as he grows. Alex needed help learning how to work in this world, and nobody was there to assist him, and for that, he suffered.
Now, there better be some writing from the teacher about that. Is there any sort of... Because it was so awesome.
John.
John? You mean
Jon.
Jonathan?
John.
Okay. All right.
Well done. You're almost there. Just a few small changes, and it's ready for your portfolio.
Oh, please have a portfolio.
Now,
Just a few small changes. You're almost there.
mind you,
Now, was this a real high school, or was this some sort of, like, make-your-own-grade high school?
this is my crazy fucking hippie boarding school.
Okay.
But I never fucking read the book. I never
course you
finished the
didn't.
book.
You never said you
I
watched
never
half the
mentioned-
movie.
I never mentioned that he goes away and gets, all the rehabilitation and anything because I never got to that
No, you didn't
point.
get to that.
So all I talk about is how jacked up he is in the beginning
How
of the book. Because that's
crazy society is.
It's as far as I got. And how you can read that as a teacher and be like, almost ready for your portfolio.
Jonathan, you're almost there. A few minor changes. First of all, read the book. Second of all, read the book. You're almost there, dog. Hey, shit, there's an alien. Teacher running out of the room.
That is the shittiest.
Best teacher ever. Listen, you gotta support. You can't. Listen, we're all. This environment, you gotta nurture.
What am
You
I
gotta
talking
foster.
about?
You're not talking about shit. Half the fucking thing, you're fucking.
I'm just talking about my own
quoting with
shitty life and then a page of a quote from
one
the
of these
book.
cool movies. This was like the early 90s that you were fucking 16 years old, right? What movies you talking? When Right Said Fred dropped that cool song, it really shook the world with violence. That report was awesome. And I want every one of your portfolio reports. Jonathan, hey, John. Cool, man. Almost there. First of all, gotta read the book, but cool. When you get a chance, listen. I ain't one of them jerk teachers coming
Not
down on you like the man.
harping on you.
Yeah. Hey, man, this ain't calc or trig. Chill, man. Chill. Smoke a J and chill. Spicy habanero Cheetos, chill. Listen. You ever seen a movie? They made a movie out of it. Wicked good. Catch it. Well, I got an idea. Let's rent the movie. We'll watch the movie. We'll just talk about the movie. Fucking shit, man.
Fuck me.
Oh, fuck me.
All right, so we're going to Benjamin Hill, Mexico next week.
Oh, I cannot wait for fucking Mexico. New Mexico? No, Mexico.
So we talked last week that I had a couple of papers from my life. Well, last week we covered a book report on a novel called The Clockwork Orange, or A Clockwork Orange, I think.
Yes. Well, who knows?
Who really knows?
Yeah.
And the other option that Seth had was to talk about my paper that covered my field trip to Mexico, where I lived for 2 weeks in Mexico with a family in a small town
south of the Arizona border.
Wow.
And I have not read this paper since I turned it in. And so I have no idea what it contains. I don't even know if it's entirely complete because of the way it opens. But let's just take a trip. Let's take a small little jaunt down to our border brothers.
Good luck, everyone.
Before this field trip, I couldn't conceive of working in another family rather than my own as an actual member. I got a chance to see myself in how I work as an individual, the kind of people I'm attracted to as companions. The people I grew close to on the trip had many similar characteristics as my friends back home. My friends cared about me, understanding what they were talking about at all times. And they were curious about our conversations in English. I never thought I would learn Spanish as quickly as I did in Ben Hill, which was Benjamin Hill was the town, but I guess it's Ben Hill now.
That's what it is in Spanish. It's Ben Hill.
I was put somewhere to get away from the crap in my life and get completely engulfed in a different culture, to the point of forgetting about all the crap I had back at school and at home.
Keep
It actually reads, from the crap in my life and get completely engulfed in a different culture's crap to the point of forgetting about all the crap I had back at school and at home. Sorry, that's how it reads. The growing I did at B Hill with the natives was one...
The what?
With the natives was one thing, but I must comment on the amount I grew with others from my school. Jason and I, for instance, never really knew that... never really knew what he was like inside, but we had been friends at school. In Benjamin Hill, we were together all the time, laughing and talking about the stuff that really matters. And now he is a brother, for now and ever.
When's the last time you talked to Jason?
People, I have no idea who Jason is.
What's Jason's last name?
I couldn't tell you who he is. People who I had no connection with whatsoever, I can now say I know them in more ways than one.
Forever.
It is strange the way people act differently towards one another when they don't have to worry about being cool or sticking with their new hip revolutionary cliques. If you put aside if you put aside the mockery and insecurities that mankind has developed throughout time, we are quite a loving group of animals. I cannot quite explain the way I felt those 2 weeks. It was so foreign to me then as it is now. I can best explain it when I say it was like starting an entirely new life from a point where I have not even gotten a very good grasp of my own. It taught me things about myself and disproved a lot of false perceptions I had of myself. It gave me a look at an entirely different side of humankind, and it was quite a restoration of the hope I have for us.
Okay.
If we could see the amount of joy that is in our everyday lives and not dwell on only what we are not doing or quest for what is true, comes so much better into focus. If there was a word I had to pick for what I learned down there, it would be simplicity. It was incredible for me to see that after such years of persecution and after all the struggles of being stricken with poverty, that when it seems to us as though they have got nothing, they have more joy and laughter than most of us with our bank accounts and BMWs. Through hardships, you can build ties with your land and people that can never be broken. Never.
Forever. In crap.
I've never been in a place like Benjamin Hill. It was a town, but at the same time, a very tight community. It was like VVS, my school.
Which stands for?
Verde Valley School.
Verde Valley.
Please don't Google that and tell them that I do this show. But on a grander scale. Everyone knows everyone and helps everyone. If you need to buy something and you don't have the dinero...
No, you didn't.
They float it to you in understanding that you will get them back for it in one way or another. It was really nice to see a place other than VVS working in a community atmosphere. I spent almost my entire 2 weeks with my host, Kane. He was a beautiful man, and he had been through so much, and it showed through in the conversations he and I had. He took care of me while I was there. I have to footnote this in a second. He took care of me while I was there. He made sure I wasn't getting into trouble or hanging out with anyone who wasn't a good person. I thanked him, but I never felt like I could thank him enough.
Yeah.
The amount he and the rest of his family had to sacrifice just to accommodate me was incredible. So here I was, 11 or 12 days into my 2-week stay, and I realized how limited my time was there. I had learned so much, yet there was still so much more I wanted to experience.
I enjoyed myself to the fullest extent my last couple of days, but leaving Benjamin Hill was hard because I did not get to say goodbye to half the people that I wanted to. But that just gave me more incentive to return and,
Yeah?
and spend more time con mis hermanos in
What?
Benjamin Hill.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
I said it just gave me more incentive to return and spend more time con mis hermanos in Benjamin Hill. If there was one thing I could change, it would be that I could have explained the amount of gratitude I had for my hosts. They are my family, for now, and
ever.
forever.
Yeah.
I made ties with them that will never be broken or forgotten. Now, my host, Kane.
Kane?
Kane
It's like cocaine?
well, basically, because Kane figured out pretty early on that I was looking for weed. And so he took me to a dude's house, scariest guy I've ever met. They sold me an enormous bag of marijuana. And it was crazy marijuana. And when I got down to the bottom of said bag about a week and a half in and noticed that there was probably half a gram of cocaine, like lining the bottom
Wait a
of the
minute.
bag, and then I had been smoking like crazy Cocoa Puffs
Dusted
the entire
Cocoa
time
Puffs.
I was there.
How old were you?
15.
Of course.
Kane was also the guy who set up a little movie viewing experience in my little room
was
with
nice of
a
him.
film projector, no sound, but a film projector.
Okay. Silence. So, the
And
old
it
silent
was
films.
the dirtiest Mexican porn I'd ever
Oh, wait a
seen.
minute.
And he shoved me and all my friends in there and turned it on. We were all smoking Cocoa Puffs. And halfway through the movie, I got such a raging hard-on that I pushed everyone out of the room except for this one girl. And, like, I grabbed her and had, like, terrible, coked-out, awful sex with her with this, like, crazy porn on a giant screen, like, running in the background.
So you went on a field trip,
who I
smoked coke,
who I found on MySpace recently and sent her a message. She's like, Merritt, I was like, hey, what's up? Like, looks like
Hey.
things are going really well. Like, just
remember
wanted to
that?
say hi. Like,
Remember
congratulations
that?
on the baby. And she just, like, never responded.
yeah, like, hey, remember that mildly sexual, like, coked up sexual assault I threw down on you? Remember B Hill?
He was 30-something years old. He had a wife who was absolutely beautiful. He was still in high school. We went to his high school, and it turns out he had 2 girlfriends in high school, but that were actually 15 years old, the way that normal children are in high school. So he was fucking these 2, like, 15-year-old girls and had a wife and crazy kids. And he was, like, a terrible man.
Hey,
and
hey, VVS, thanks.
thanks, guys. And months later, I got like a teacher came up to me at school and was like, we keep getting these phone calls from this guy at the main office. He's looking for you. He doesn't speak any English. He says his name is Kane. And he was like looking for me because I had promised him that I was going to like send down like
Get him on a show.
crazy shit down there. Like money and sleeping bags
Dinero.
and like dinero, con mis hermanos.
Yeah, I mean, anything you need. Yeah. Supplies. I'm going to get him down there.
Me
And you always got a place to crash. You always got a place to crash in L.A., Kane. If you ever
hey,
roll
dog,
in.
come up to Malibu. It's gonna
Hey,
be
you ever been
on.
to the Boo? It's on, Kane. Hey, bring your girlfriends, the 15-year-olds. It's cool.
Driving around in a pickup truck, like into the hills, with like a home stereo system set up with Rastaman vibration, like playing, and me like teaching everyone the lyrics. Like,
Oh my God. Did you get an A on that paper?
there's no
That's
mark,
life experience.
There's no marks
You can't
on it,
give a
so
mark
it must
on
have
life
been a
experience.
rough draft, maybe.
Well, I give you
The
an A.
roughest of drafts.
I give you an A.
This is a podcast.
This is I believe, this is an audio blog. Can
Yeah.
I say that?
Yeah,
Does this have anything to do with Craigslist in any way?
No.
Okay.
but I suppose that there is some responsibility on our part to sort of know what else is out there for the taking in this particular genre.
Okay.
So I periodically have gone and tried to uncover other shows that may be of interest to me or you
Or
or to
similar
our,
to our show.
listeners, or just
Because you're a professional.
there there are an inordinate amount of podcasts.
I bet there's
I don't know
thousands.
if you know that.
I don't know that. I pretty much stay right here in the studio. I'm not.
And you can find them the same way that you find ours.
You talk to God,
Yes.
and then He tells you.
There's a couple of things
that seem to be reoccurring parts of a lot of the shows that I come across. The most dominant one is the all famous intro, which I know that we have poked fun at before. The guitar riff with the line from some movie, you know, they're like, jung, 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 like, say hello to my little friend, like, jung, 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 like, booze you in the babby, like, you know, and it goes like, you know, and what the fuck is happening?
Here we
because
go.
Here's the thing.
Here we go.
Here's the fucking thing. We don't do that. I have intro music. I pick it every week. I pick the intro music and I pick the outro music.
Can I interject something? From what I'm told, from what is told to me more than anything, is that you have impeccable musical taste.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, and it's very nice.
That's not me. That's the people.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I can't speak for that. What I can speak for is that I do take it pretty seriously, and that I try to handpick the music for the shows. And often I feel as though there is some appropriateness, one way or the other, for the music that I choose.
You're creating an experience.
You know,
a feeling.
But it serves a purpose. It sort of it eases us into the show and it eases us out of the show. That's it.
Simple.
And I get to sort of floss some of my fucking like sweet fucking electronic music flavor and like be like, these dudes are dope.
Like,
and
never heard
like,
this, have you? Like,
you know,
levels up.
And so, but these motherfuckers, these fucking assholes, man. It's like, you know, will you do me a favor? I want a top 10 list of like, okay, like how you know if you're like a podcasting faggot. All right. Now I'm going to use the word faggot in this particular segment, and when I say faggot, I mean it like 7th grade. You're a faggot. All right. I don't mean Craigslist, casual encounters, awesomeness. I'm just going to use the term faggot. And I hope you know what I mean when I say faggot.
That could get us into a lot of trouble.
Because I reserve that word for these particular people, not for guys who love other guys' cocks. All right? That's a poof. How you know if you're a podcasting faggot, my top 10 list that I'm just going to kind of go off the dome here. I haven't written it down. I'm not fucking David Lettermaning out on you.
Time for that.
I may not even get through 10.
Okay.
Do not, under any circumstances, use a soundbite.
Okay.
Soundbites are for faggots.
You mean like the flat from like a movie?
Or a dough, or anything.
Okay.
Anything that involves referencing some sampled piece of dialogue from a fucking movie that you think is funny, is jarring,
like something
is
like
shocking,
something from like Happy Gilmore.
Like, don't fucking do it.
Okay.
Don't use a sound effect like where you start with some music where it's like like it's breaking and someone's like hacking in, and that we're getting some like pirate feed of your fucking show.
Oh, I see.
Don't make me think that you've like
ham
busted
radio,
into the
like,
system and like you're about to fucking.
You were listening to classical, not anymore, faggot.
Like, hey, like don't fucking do that shit, because the other problem
Jonathan, let them do it. Let them have their fun.
They fucking go butt shit crazy, and they're just like going crazy, and it's 3 minutes of just these like, it's like that. I mean, again, it's like that fucking, you've never seen it, that Family Guy episode where they become on the radio, and it's just like, you know, it's like, you know, Bongo and the baby, and it's just all over the place, and then they start talking. And the fidelity of their talking is so shitty. And I'm not saying like we're not making fucking, you know, this is no fucking, you know,
There's no air conditioning here.
Yeah,
Let's just
exactly.
say that.
I mean, listen, we're not rolling that dope.
As much as I hate to say this, we're both wearing shorts right now, and I can't even believe
we're not
I'm
we're not
admitting that I'm wearing
Spalding Gray
shorts
here.
right now.
I mean, like we do a show, we use gear, but fucking hell, they sound like they are talking like underneath a table. It's like, hey, what's up, this is talking outside. You're like, hey, faggots. The other thing is do not address your audience as, hey, fuckers. Don't do that.
Fuck, man.
Hey, fuckers. What's up, you motherfuckers?
It's like you found us again.
Like, you disenchanted, disenfranchised, like, what's up, you motherfuckers? What's up? Like, you ready to fucking do this? Like, we got a fucking show for you. Like, no, you don't. Because I stopped listening before you got through the fucking sample of Tool that you fucking used with your fucking... Oh, my God, man. It drives me so fucking crazy. This is mean. I feel like this is mean. But...
No, I mean, you're trying to help our listeners stay informed.
Don't do that shit.
Let them do that.
Like, it's even stupid on regular radio where there's, like, money and, like, bullshit.
We love our listeners because we're a family.
We hear you faggots like to party. Like, what? What? We have a ongoing run of UYD slogans on the website, in the forums, where people can chime in with things that we've said throughout the show of, like, whatever. Naturally sexy, UYD, naturally sexy. The other one we got this week, personally my favorite so far, I think, is what starts with techno involves two guys and offends a lot of people. Gay sex or UYD?
Say that again. It's
what starts with techno. Starts with techno, involves two guys, and offends a lot of people. Gay sex or UYD?
Thank you.
So awesome.
So right.
No more techno on this show, by the way. I'm done.
More techno.
I don't know. According to my friends and the people that know me, I guess people kind of say that I'm a me first driver, and I don't totally believe that. But according to the people who know me and love me, they sort of say that I'm a me first driver. So if that's true, then I have seemingly acquired some negative vibe that then kind of culminates in a sort of, metaphysical pimple and eventually pops out in a dazzling array. I talked about that guy, that old dude, right, chasing him. Similar trip. On my way back home, I'm going over Sepulveda Boulevard, for those of you who are spot mapping us on the interweb. And I'm on Sepulveda at Skirball Center Drive. And you know that incline right there, right? And then there's the light. And it gets really trafficky, so it backs up. I'm probably 10 or 15 cars back. I'm talking to a friend of mine on the phone. And there's a car in front of me, a brand new white Nissan Xterra. No plates on the car. Oh, no, plates on the car, but brand new. And he's probably 10 feet in front of me. There's about a car length between us. And we're at a dead stop. And about 5-10 seconds after I come to this dead stop, the car starts rolling back towards me with no reverse lights on. And I think, like, oh, is he backing? Somebody trying to get over or something? And the car just keeps rolling and starts gaining a little momentum. And I start honking, and then I start really honking, and the car just hits me. Just bam! And so we kind of try to pull over, but we can't. I put the car in park. I get out. The guy gets out of the car, and he's sort of disheveled in some way. He's either pulling up his pants. I think he was pulling up his pants, basically. And he's this scrawny, sort of maybe late 30s, early 40s, white dude, glasses. And he walks towards me, and I see him, and he gets to in between our two cars, and he looks at his bumper, and he's like, all right, well, no damage, I guess. It's cool. And he walks away. And I don't even get a chance to look at my car before I'm like, what happened there, dude? Did you fall asleep? I was like, did you fall asleep just now or something? And he looks at me and he goes, no, you just rear-ended me.
Oh, my God.
And I immediately just get engulfed in rage, and I start just marching up to his car, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I was like, you just rolled into me. And he's like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't. And I was like, and so I'm at his door, and he's like quickly getting into his car, and right before he closed the door, he's like, fuck you, asshole, and shuts the door. And I just immediately turn into a 14-year-old, and I spit on his window. And then I immediately am embarrassed by my behavior, and I turn, because we're in dead stop traffic. There's 80 people staring at me, and I'm like...
Definitely somebody you knew, too, somewhere in one of those cars.
So the light's going green and cars are starting to roll. I run into my car, and I chase this dude. He makes a right, and then he goes to make a... He puts on his blinker to go right, and he makes a left, and I was like, this motherfucker. I'm chasing him along Mulholland, calling 911 on the BlackBerry, like zigzagging around. He then puts on his signal and turns into a fire station.
I know that one.
Like, oh, you a fireman, dude? You going to work? And so then I just pull up a little ways off the road, and I watch him, like, back out and get onto the road, and I'm, like, looking at him, like, really? Finally, like, he zigzags. Like, I finally am just like, whatever. My car's running fine. You know, seemingly no damage, as he said. I'm on the phone with CHP, and I'm like, this fucking guy! And I'm, like, laughing and screaming. And they go, are you chasing him right now? And I was like, well, and they're like, please stop chasing him.
Stop
and
chasing him.
This fucking guy, though.
What a...
Like,
dude.
There's
That's
just
awesome.
no account, like, just, I didn't.
Looks like the exterior's cool. Peace.
You're all right, man. Don't worry about it.
You're cool.
I don't see any need to.
Hey, next time just watch your shit.
I'm just like...
Oh, shit, man.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unfucking believable.
I just say chillax to him, man. Just chillax.
Spitting on his window. I should omit that part from the story because it just negates any feelings I was having after that, because it's like, well, you're a fucking dickhead.
I like your game, though.
No, it's not a game. It's bullshit, because what it was the only thing I felt like I could do shy of reaching into his car, and then I'm in jail because I'm violating his,
That's
like,
what I mean.
person.
Like, it's the move itself signifies that you're about to chase him. It ups the ante. So I think it's...
This guy, like, fake blinkering. Like, boo, boo, boo. Fuck you.
Now, you're a fireman? You're a fireman now.
Oh, you're a firefighter.
Oh, you're going to fight fires. That's cool. It's so fucking funny.
Fuck, man.
Speaking of
I'm all hot now.
Fake firemen.
Now, we do segments on the show sometimes, and people seem to like the reoccurrence of segments that they're familiar with, or segments that they haven't heard before that they enjoy. Two listeners, and dare I say fans of the show, who actually were the lovely people who sent me that amazing birthday present, that awesome ball. Cassie and Crow. I was sent a transcript of a conversation, I believe, iChat type conversation that they had, and I'll just read it to you. Crow. I officially hate when UYD does that shit where Seth lists things and Jonathan has to guess what is real or fake. Cassie. Seriously, I fast forwarded. It's never funny. But if we told him that, people would yell at us. Crow. After he read the question on one of them, there was such a long pause while Jonathan was thinking that I checked my iPod to make sure it was still playing. Cassie. We could do a parody of it to demonstrate how bad it sucks. Crow. You mean just dead air? Cassie. Yeah, I hate it. Crow. Which one of these three things is a cereal? Honey Bunches of Oats, Cheerios, or Diarrhea Bowl Flakes? Crow. Let me repeat it. Honey Bunches of Oats, Cheerios, or Diarrhea Bowl Flakes. Now keep in mind, I made one of these up. I am hilarious and creative. Cheerios is real. I'm keeping track of your score. So far, you're 0 for 3. Fuck. Cheerios is real. Okay, so Honey Bunches of Oats or Diarrhea Bowl Flakes. Take your time. Think it out. Pretend you were grocery shopping. You made up Honey Bunches of Oats. You, sir, are wrong. Oh, man. The answer is diarrhea flakes. You are hilarious and creative. I made that up when I was cleaning the studio. See, it's not a studio. I live here. The emphasis on studio is hilarious. Lols. Because I'm pretending we have a studio and not just my apartment. I made up diarrhea flakes. I am hilarious and creative. Okay, only 63 more to go.
Oh, man. That is like... They just...
That is so awesome.
Just burnt me so hardcore. You know what? I feel awful because it's so clever and like spot on, and I'm such a douchebag. But it's awesome, and it's awesome. That's the bottom line. But I'm actually, it's probably good because it makes me feel less guilty now about talking shit, knowing that I just got a taste of my own fucking my fucking.
Well, at least with you, though, I mean, there's actual text about you. I just hum and haw through the whole thing, and then are like, damn it, I suck at this. Like, I just suck at it. Like, I don't say anything cool or funny. I say and then get everything wrong.
I thought some of them were funny.
I think they're funny.
They're right.
Fuck.
We're not fucking funny.
Are we going to have to retire it? No, I think we have to do it. I think we have to do it more to get better at it.
Fuck.
It's like practice. My warning is about Crocs. They're being caught on across the nation on escalators, and they're injuring children, middle-aged women, and Jonathan. And that means me. Seth wrote that for me.
We were talking.
They get caught on escalators.
You wear them. What happens? Because I have the weird. It's a different problem for me. I have this weird thing where I can ride any escalator in the world and never fall down like a bitch. You know why? Because I'm just wearing fucking shoes. Because I'm called a dude. Because I'm what they call a guy. I don't wear footwear that gets me tangled up in fucking moving stairs. Ah!
Yeah, I don't know how that would happen, but I guess because there's an excessive amount of, because they're sort of cage-like and that not all areas are directly in contact with the feet, so they could kind of get messed up and you wouldn't realize it until it was too late.
Is it your skirt or the Crocs? What gets caught?
For the first time in the history of the show, probably, I actually already know what the music that you're going to be listening to is.
You have no idea.
on the outro that you outro music that you're about to hear. I will play the entire song in its entirety.
How's your mind about to be blown, UYD listeners?
It is by an artist known as Soonhey. It's Soonhey.
Soonhey.
You can go to the MySpace page, myspace.com /
We never.
I don't believe I've ever endorsed an artist.
Well,
besides
we have
the dead.
We've endorsed the Beatles and this artist.
The Beatles, the Grateful Dead,
and then
Soonhey. MySpace.com / Soonhey. Soonhey. The song is called. You'll know what the song's called.
You know it when it becomes your life, as it has ours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seatbelts.
Oh, well, hi there, ladies and gents. I'd like to welcome you to Beauregard and Charlemagne's Wild Emporium. 1 part boutique, 1 part abattoir, 1 part refrigerator. You can ask me now and I'll tell you later. It's a hell of a place. Go there. Wow. Beauregard and Charlemagne's Wild Emporium. Whatever you need, just get it. Look around. Shop, man. Shop. Beauregard and Charlemagne's Wild Emporium. Sometimes you don't know you need something until you buy it, and then you have it, and it's just great. Beauregard, Charlemagne, oh my god, insane. Deals no jippo, tears from a hippo, rubbing on your leg like Novocaine. Whatever you need, whatever you like, from mints to bikes to cars to alligators, and now and laters from different countries. We can take that in, we can change those lines. We're purveyors of fine things. I'm spacing you out. You can shop from the couch and leave your blouse on my face. The customer's always spaced, but I don't want nobody buying clothes and they're asleep. wasting your time. Beauregard, he'll sell you things in your sleep. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but I can throw him across the street. Oh, Beauregard, Charlemagne's wild emporium. Can I help you with anything? Gifts, dreams, courage, anything. Come on. Beauregard, Charlemagne's wild emporium. I'm sure you need something. I'm sure there's an event. I'm sure there's a void in your life. Okay. Well, hey, fella, you look a little tired. Can I interest you in some coffee? Can I buy you a nap? How about some of these blankets or one of those sashes over there? You're not the boss of me. Why don't you go back over across the street and go back to sleep, okay? Okay. Oh, Beauregard, Charlemagne's wild emporium. Look, sweetheart, you're a nice girl, but it's a niche market. I can't get you moving. Quiches. I can move like stallions, because it's a great market. But you? Look at you. Well, I don't know. Look at you. Or maybe I changed my mind. That's how my mind works. It changes. It changes like outfits. Why don't you go change your outfit? Put on a little less something. Maybe you can change my mind again. I just changed my mind. You should change your outfit. Change. I'm a changed man, I tell you. I'll take it all. I'll take you down.